Alright lads, it's time to talk about everything new in the Marvel Rivals mid-season update. And this update is going to bring huge balance changes to Eternal Knight's Fall, and it also brings two long-awaited characters completing the Fantastic Four. We have the Thing and the Human Torch. And we're going to watch these trailers through and think about their kit, theorize how they're going to synergize with all the rest of the heroes in the game. And by the way, the Fantastic Four are about to have, in my opinion, one of the strongest synergies in the game. So these characters are going to be huge. You're definitely going to want to hop onto these day one. But let's go ahead and check out the Thing first before we get into the rest of the stuff that's new. And I've been waiting for the Thing for a long time as a Vanguard main. He's really going to play a lot like the Hulk should have played. The Hulk is very energy-based, which is strange. As you can see, he's clobbering. And he actually has some iconic voice lines too, so that's his shift. It's a charge, and it actually puts him through environment. Go back a little bit further so we can see this. And this is huge, because this is an underrated thing that I don't think enough players try to do, is flank through the environment. I mean, you have the ability to destroy stuff very easily. Hops in. Did he get any extra health on that hop in? No, he didn't. But he's a huge tank. Look at that. 700 health. What just gave him 750 right there? So he has 700 health by himself. And the whole thing about Mr. Fantastic is Mr. Fantastic is an off tank. His whole point is to support the Thing as the Thing rushes into battle. So every time he buffs him with his own power, the Thing will go to 800 total health. The Thing is going to be a real powerhouse in the front line, that's for sure. But then I think, yeah, he had some sort of shield there. So that was like his rock barrier. So he has his own method to get extra health. Wow, dude. So you're going to be able to buff the Thing. Looking at his kit right there, let's go back a second, because I'm actually kind of tripping on this. At his peak health here, he had 850. So you could get him to near 1,000. It should also be mentioned that he'll probably have the Fantastic Four synergy where he can overshield himself essentially. And that is probably what puts him at that crazy 1k health. He leaps in. Runs forward with the shield, smash. Oh wow, that's his ult right there. Crowd clearer. What part of that was his ult though? Let's get a better look. Once he starts charging into that, so it's like a charge into a Reinhardt slam, like an earth shatter. Complements the other two very well, and he's probably going to be the strongest tank in the game currently. There are a couple nerfs to the most used tanks, and we'll check out all the leaked buffs and nerfs to the heroes a little bit later in this video. But now let's go ahead and dissect the Human Torch and see what he's all about. Johnny Storm. And he's getting those views a bit faster. He's definitely a more popular character. Another flying menace in the game, of course. I thought this was going to be his special form. But I guess not. And he has insane speed. And that shift, so he has a charge. He has this charge in very similar to the Thing. But it's just with fire from the sky. Boom. It actually knocked some of them back too. That was kind of huge. Johnny Storm, kind of crazy. What is he doing here? Oh, he actually made like a ring of fire, so he made a trap. Hold up. So let's get a better look at this, because he has a bit of Sue Storm in him as well. Because Sue Storm can hold you in. Her ultimate is all about putting you in a slow field that hurts you, and then at the same time, Johnny Storm will be putting these fire traps that lay a ring of fire with continuous damage while he's pelting you from the sky. And then eventually he dives in for the finishes. That's kind of brutal. And there's his ultimate. Okay, and here's, let's not bury the lead. He can actually combine his ultimate with Storm's ultimate. So there's a couple things to note here. He does not leave the map to cast his ultimate. I don't know what they were thinking when they designed the Storm's ultimate like it is, because she just disappears entirely. You have no way to counter it, no way to stop it, and that she gets a massive amount of overshield when she's in her ultimate. Johnny Storm, much more vulnerable up here in the backline. He just has to throw it down. And then he doesn't have too much control over it. And it looks like it's doing a decent amount of damage, but you can see the Luna Snow ult in there. This is something that the developers of Marvel Rivals were talking about, where rather than doing crazy nerfs or buffs to the existing heroes, they want to tweak them a little bit and then introduce new characters and tune those new characters in such a way where they counter the existing metas. So creating counter picks and new metas rather than trying to constantly chase that dragon of like stopping broken mechanics, which it has its flaws and its benefits. It's different than how Overwatch designed their game, that's for sure. But as we can see here, they pretty much break the Luna Snow ultimate by combining their two ultimates, Storm plus Human Torch, which, if you aren't too deep into the comp scene of this, the competitive, at the higher levels, there is a triple support meta that kind of dominates a lot of the game. It's not too good at the lower levels of play. You really only see it work at Grandmaster, where people have a lot of coordination. Now, we saw a bit of the new map in those hero trailers, but let's go ahead and check out Central Park, since there have been 2 new maps and a special game mode added in Season 1 of Marvel Rivals. Let's give it its time. And this is going to be nice because it'll break up the monotony a bit, too. Very Halloween themed. Dracula, by the way, is the overarching enemy of this season, if you weren't aware. And this is very Victorian, very Dracula. All these hidden hallways. Very nice. That might be a spawn room right there. Dracula himself will actually be on the map, featuring reading from the Book of Shadows. I'm not sure if that's what it's actually called. Tell me in the comments what this book is called. I'm not too deep into the lore of this game, but there is actually surprisingly deep lore in Marvel Rivals. Gotta get through the castle door. This gives me mad Overwatch vibes, but definitely a little bit more goth with the gargoyles and twisted trees. That's very cool. A helicopter for no reason. Can we drive that? A squirrel? The squirrel copter makes an appearance. What an Easter egg for comic book fans. Look at that. That's where you see all the love in this game. All the little bits of love in this game. Go into the tree? You can actually go in the tree. What is this? The Tomb of Dracula game. They're playing the Tomb of Dracula. There's so many little Easter eggs on this map to explore. Wow. We'll have to walk around it a bit ourselves when it comes out. That's definitely a W. And seeing how they played on it, it looked pretty enjoyable from the sky. I think we really are looking at an emerging flying meta. Because the thing about fighting in the middle of the ground, in the middle of the pit, let me put it this way. There are a lot of melee characters. And a lot of these melee characters are kind of preferred, like Magic or Wolverine, because they can really punch a hole through the tanks. But now we have the Thing, who's going to be the hardest tank in the game. We have Sue Storm, whose whole kit is centered around stopping melee characters. This map in particular has no roof on it, at least the convoy push part. So it's really going to favor the Storm and the Human Torch combo. And you know, players may complain that certain characters are broken, but broken mechanics get destroyed once you get better at the game, once people uncover new techniques with other characters. Like, I don't truly believe there's anything broken in the game, and if there is anything broken, it can be countered by something else that's equally broken. It's the powers balance each other. That's the best way to put it.